Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a game beloved by many, including myself. I really love Mario Kart. Having played Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, and owning Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, most, if not all of my childhood has included Mario Kart in some capacity. Being the best-selling game on Switch that it is, the 48 included courses have gotten a little stale over the past 8 years since the Wii release. Yes, it really has been 8 years. That's crazy to think about. To fix this, Nintendo has released a DLC booster pass, which will give 8 tracks in 6 waves until the end of 2023, totaling to 48 new-ish tracks. I say new-ish because every track will be a retro track and there will be no new Nitro tracks. Still, this means that a lot of fan favorites get their chance to shine. With 96 total tracks, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will really live up to that title. I've come to you all today to give my predictions for the 40 remaining tracks that Nintendo will end up releasing. I make my predictions based on a mix of what I would love to see, tracks that I think need a fresh coat of paint, and tracks that Nintendo will likely see fit to bring back. Keep in mind, I have only ever played 3, 4 if you count Deluxe as a separate entry, of the 8 total games, so a lot of the predictions for older courses are based on what I have seen people talk about a lot, and which ones I think look really cool. I also have taken into account the pattern for the first 8 tracks that have been released, as it seems Nintendo is making an effort to port the majority of the tour maps to the Switch. The first 2 cups, the Golden Dash Cup and the Lucky Cat Cup, both include a variety of tracks. We have a track from the Nintendo 64, one from the Game Boy Advance, one from the DS, one from the 3DS, a fan favorite from the Wii, and a whopping 3 tour tracks. Personally, I think the tour tracks are alright, and I was originally worried that they would block out some other really good tracks from making their return, but after looking at tracks and making my lists, I realized that 48 tracks is a very large number. I had to put some filler tracks into my predictions because I still had 10 or so spaces that were not filled up. Enough with the chit chat though, it is time to move on to the predictions. Wave 2 will introduce the Turnip Cup and the Propeller Cup based on the Turnip item from Super Mario Bros. 2 and the Propeller item from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. These will be the second set of the 48 courses we are slated to receive. First up, for the Turnip Cup, I am predicting Mario Kart Tour's Singapore Speedway, N64's Banshee Boardwalk, DS Peach Gardens, and Wii's Koopa Cape. Singapore Speedway is a relatively new tour track from about 3 months ago. Nintendo has already started every cup with a Tour City track, and so my predictions will follow the same pattern. Singapore Speedway is a breathtaking nighttime track through, well, Singapore. Some really neat features of this track include a trip through the shallow infinity pool where racers can spot Goombas on floaties. Isn't that adorable? Another cool place that we would get to visit is the floating platform in Marina Bay, and if we are lucky enough, we might even be able to catch a soccer game. The next step is Banshee Boardwalk. This is one of those filler tracks I was talking about earlier. I hear a lot of people talking about how this track needs to return since it has never been in another game. I have no real opinions for or against this track, but it would definitely spice up the pool of tracks as we really only have one ghost theme track in the game, being Haunted Mansion. It looks like an upgraded version of SNES Ghost Valley. The building looks cool, with the bats, and having Bubba the Fish destroy the track would be neat, but that's all I really have to say on this track. Next up on our list is Peach Gardens. I absolutely loved this track when it was on the Wii, and I really hope it makes a return. I loved using mushrooms to get through flower beds and dodging the giant chain chomps that guard the gardens, and the Monty Moles that pop out. With all that money, is anyone really surprised that Princess Peach has her own giant garden? Finally, we end the Turnip Cup with Koopa Cape. This track is an absolute blast. Driving through a river only to fall down a waterfall into a pipe, then traveling underwater was such a nice atmosphere for such a fast-paced track. Looking around and seeing all the unagi eels and making sure to dodge the electric traps is one of my fondest memories from the Wii. Next up is the Propeller Cup. For the tour track, I chose Los Angeles Laps, followed by 3DS Wario Shipyard, or Wario's Galleon for you British folk. For the third track, we go back to 2008 with Toad's Factory from the Wii, then to end the cup we have Daisy Cruiser from Double Dash. First is Los Angeles Laps, an extremely vibrant and full of life track with a gorgeous sunset in the distance. Having a nice jazzy remix of this track's already groovy music would be the cherry on top. Racers start on the Santa Monica Pier before taking to the streets of LA. Just watch out for that infamous LA traffic. Wario's Shipyard, or Wario's Galleon for you British folk, is a track I personally completely forgot about on the 3DS, but looking back, it's actually a really nice track. I'm never too fond of underwater sections in video games, but this course does it right. Most of the track takes place in tight submerged roads with sidesteppers and air currents to watch out for. It would introduce a new setting into Mario Kart 8 with its creeping music and dark vibes. Next up is my personal favorite track of all time, Toad's Factory for the Wii. I have way too much to talk about with this course, but I really hope it comes back. The whole factory feel is something that no other course has really been able to replicate, and we finally have an explanation to where item boxes come from. The music for this track is already great and would be even better with the talented Mario Kart 8 musicians. The mud section at the end could become a glider section, and it would be a joy to play this map on 200cc in glorious HD. This entire track is such a good fit for the booster pass, and I really hope it makes the cut. Daisy Cruiser will be ending the Propeller Cup. I remember very little about this track from the 3DS aside from falling into an underwater section and driving through the narrow hallways of the cruiser, but the cruise ship vibe would go with the 3 other tracks mentioned. Daisy Cruiser would be a very nice addition to Mariokart 8 Deluxe. Wave 3 of the pass includes the Rock Cup and the Moon Cup. The Rock Cup is my personal favorite of the Cup sponsors, as I have fond memories of Super Mario Galaxy 2, and the Moon Cup gives some nice representation to Super Mario Odyssey, another of the Switch's top sellers. To start the Rock Cup, I predict Tour's Sydney Sprint. Now, hear me out. It would indeed make more sense for the track based in Australia to be in the Boomerang Cup, but I feel like the Rock Cup fits better for some strange reason. In this track we get to explore the Sydney Opera House and Luna Park, all while under the relaxing Australian sun. After that relaxing visit to Sydney, we take a trip to Bowser's Castle, specifically Bowser's Castle 3 from the SNES. Then we move on to GCN Wario Coliseum, followed by Rock Mountain from the 3DS. I chose the third layout of SNES Bowser's Castle because that is the one featured on the Wii, but it could realistically be any of them. This flat track is very simplistic but very fun. The music rocks as you drive through the twists and turns, making sure not to fall off into the lava. Other than Rainbow Road and the dreaded Donut Plains, we don't have a lot of SNES representation, and I think that this DLC should pay homage to the series' roots. Wario Coliseum is a track I didn't even know existed until a few weeks ago, but learning about it is what inspired me to make a predictions list. This track looks incredible. The sheer length of it forces there to be only 2 laps instead of the usual 3. The fun twists and turns of this track would be enhanced by zero gravity and the faster paced gameplay of Mariokart 8. This track has never seen a comeback after its debut back in 2003, and I think it really deserves some time to shine. The last track is a track I have fond memories of from way back when, Rock Mountain. I think it might be a little cheeky ending the Rock Cup with Rock Mountain, but I think it's just cheeky enough to be plausible. Rock Mountain, or Alpine Pass in Britain, is a very fun track utilizing gliders to their fullest potential. Racers drive around a cliff and into a cave before taking an extremely long glider flight over a forest, then climbing back up the mountain to glide some more. This track is phenomenal, and its music really deserves some special Mario Kart 8 treatment as well. The Moon Cup would consist of London Loop from Tour, Luigi's Mansion from the DS, DK's Jungle Parkway from the N64, and GBA's gorgeous Sunset Wilds. London Loop starts beside Big Ben and takes racers through the streets of London, passing landmarks such as St. Paul's Cathedral, the Tower Bridge, and you can even catch a glimpse of the London Eye. This tour track is one I would really like the chance to experience on the big screen. Luigi's Mansion is the next track I've chosen. This track is one of the most beloved tracks on the DS and looks like a really fun course to drive through. The muddy forest and the graveyard would look really nice in Mario Kart 8's lighting, and the spooky atmosphere would differ from Banshee Boardwalk while still retaining that ghost vibe Mario Kart 8 could definitely use more of. The third track is DK's Jungle Parkway. I remember this track from the Wii, albeit very faintly. The section where you fly over the river is fun, and it could make for a nice glider section. They could do something cool with the bridge where it becomes a zero gravity corkscrew, or it could remain a normal, boring bridge. That's fine too. The last course is GBA's Sunset Wilds. This track looks stunning on the Game Boy, but suffered a significant downgrade in Tour. I hope they bring the colors back to what they used to look like because the sunset looked amazing in Super Circuit. The way it progressively got darker through the laps is a concept that we haven't really seen return in any other Mario Kart track. The Shy Guy tents on the road pose a little bit of a challenge for the scenic view of a map. The next wave begins with the Fruit Cup, and to start us off strong, I've chosen none other than the Big Apple, Tour's New York Minute. Get it? Big Apple, Fruit Cup, like the fruit looks like an apple. You get it. 3DS Daisy Hills is next, followed by DS Delfino Square and Wii's Maple Treeway. New York Minute is the most recognizable from Tour and one of the few I've played personally. The amazing streets of New York are all lit up under the night sky, and driving through Central Park is a really fun detail. This track is short yet sweet with a jazzy tune to keep you going. Daisy Hills is one of the first courses from the 3DS and a really solid introduction into the gliding mechanics. Being a nice brisk stroll through the countryside, Daisy Hills would be an excellent change of pace to transition from some calmer tracks for the end of the Fruit Cup. Delfino Square and Maple Treeway both appear on the Wii, and both are really great courses. Delfino Square is a race through a coastal town with tight turns and hidden shortcuts with a drawbridge at the end that would make for an excellent glider ramp. Maple Treeway is a fan favorite from the Wii where, similar to Wild Woods, you are shrunken down and you race through an autumn tree. This track is visually stunning but was sadly downgraded in Mario Kart Tour through heavy saturation. I don't have high hopes for it returning to its former visual glory, but being able to play the track on the Switch would be good enough. The Boomerang Cup, based on the boomerang power from Super Mario 3D Land, would begin with Berlin Byways, and it would take us through Mushroom Bridge from Double Dash, Vanilla Lake 1 from Super Mario Kart, and would end with Koopa Beach from Super Mario Kart. Berlin Byways is a tour track taking us through the sights and sounds of Germany. It features a fun glider section where you can trick off some cars and many tight corners perfect for drifting. Next is Mushroom Bridge, a relatively calm trek on a city street populated with cars. It's a nice middle ground between Shroom Ridge and Toad's Turnpike, and the namesake bridge is a really nice addition. Lots of little hidden shortcuts make this a really promising Mario Kart 8 track. Vanilla Lake 1 is my least favorite of the courses I have predicted, but based on the fact that advertisements for it appear in the Coconut Mall remake, I figured it would probably make an appearance somewhere. This course is very simplistic, but could potentially have an underwater section similar to Sherbet Land. Mario Kart 8 needs better ice levels. Ice Outpost is really all we have, and that level is criminally underrated. The final course of that Boomerang Cup will be Koopa Beach. This track is a relatively bland beach-themed track, but it could make for a really nice chill level. It would make 2 SNES tracks in a row, but they're both fan favorites, so I think it will be fine, and the music really could use a nice remaster. Wave 5 of the DLC will give us the Feather and the Cherry Cups. The Feather Cup is named for the Cape Feather item from Super Mario World. I predict this cup will begin with Amsterdam Drift from Tour, move into Boo Lake from Super Circuit, with Mushroom Gorge from the Wii being the third track, and finally we will end with the fan favorite Airship Fortress from the DS. Since at the time of recording, Amsterdam Drift was released in Tour like literally 3 days ago, there isn't much to talk about. That is one of the reasons I put it so late into the DLC. It's extremely new and so likely won't be early content. I like driving through the countryside and going through the small boat. Boo Lake is a track very similar to Banshee Boardwalk, but I feel that there is enough of a difference to allow both to be included. Banshee Boardwalk can be changed to fit a more 3D layout, but Boo Lake can keep its 2D track feel. It has a risky layout with some areas having no walls and nice spooky scenery with Luigi's Mansion being seen in the distance. If they do include both courses, they could even have the Luigi's Mansion from the namesake course be the same one we see in the distance. It has some diverging paths and tight turns that would be really fun to master. Next should be Mushroom Gorge, a lively track thanks in part to the many mushrooms in, well, the gorge, I guess. This was my favorite track for a long time thanks to its bouncy personality, which is also due to the mushrooms. Mario Kart 7 even added a glider mushroom to really spice up the cave section of this track. It would be a really good fit for the Feather Cup as most of the fun of this track is spent bouncing from mushroom to mushroom. Last but not least, Airship Fortress. This is an extremely popular track, and for good reason. We finally get to explore one of Bowser's ships in a fun, unique way. The beginning of the track has you dodge bullet bills as you make your way to the bottom of the airship where you dodge fire. There are a lot of things to dodge in this track. We are then shot into a ruined castle tower where we return to the start. There is a lot of personality in this course, and it would be infinitely better by the personality that Mario Kart 8 adds to all of its tracks. Just watch out for rocky wrenches, they are extremely annoying. The Cherry Cup is my second favorite of the cup sponsors. The Double Cherry from Super Mario 3D World is such a unique item, so having it as one of the cups in Mario Kart 8's DLC is super cool. For the Cherry Cup, I use my magic prediction spell to predict Vancouver Velocity from Tour, Shy Guy Bazaar from the 3DS, Moonview Highway from the Wii, and the 3DS variant of Bowser's Castle. Starting from the top, Vancouver Velocity is my personal favorite of the Tour tracks. I am a sucker for the Northern Lights, or the Southern Lights, or any auroras in general. They're breathtaking, and the science behind them is super neat. We get to drive through the beautiful city of Vancouver in Canada. We even get to drive over a suspension bridge. How cool is that? Once again, we have a track set at night, and I just realized that this entire cup is set at night. Shy Guy Bazaar is a joy on the 3DS where we get to drive through an Arabian marketplace resembling Subcon, the home of the Shy Guys. This track is very well laid out, and one of the few desert tracks I don't despise driving on. The glider section near the end is also really nice, and with Mario Kart 8 lighting, it would look absolutely incredible. Moonview Highway is just Toad's Turnpike, but more chaotic. You start the track by driving on a busy highway populated with large cars that damage you if you get too close. You can go up the hills to avoid the cars, but you will inevitably get hit, let's be honest. From here you go into a really lit up city where the cars merge lanes randomly and without warning. It's a really chaotic track that I really want to see return. Bowser's Castle from the 3DS is my second favorite iteration of Bowser's Castle behind Mario Kart 8's. The variety in this one is nothing to laugh at. Many areas have multiple routes, such as choosing to go through or on top of a spinning tunnel. The underwater section with lava geysers is also a really cool addition, as water is not normally something found in Bowser's Castle tracks, and lava geysers underwater makes absolutely zero sense. At the end of the track, you get to glide to the finish line. Mario Kart 7 really loves long gliding sections, which is fine by me because I also love long gliding sections. The final wave of tracks will be released in late 2023, almost 2 years away. The included cups are the Acorn Cup, taking inspiration from the Super Acorn in New Super Mario Bros. U, and the Spiny Cup, taking inspiration from everybody's favorite infamous blue shell. The Acorn Cup will likely be similar to every other cup, but I think that the Spiny Cup will include specifically fan favorites as a strong send-off for the DLC. The Acorn Cup will start off strong with Merry Mountain, a non-city based track from Tour. Next we'll go from snow-capped peaks to the blazing desert with N64's Calamari Desert. From there we will take a trip to Dino Dino Jungle from the GameCube, and we will end it off from Rainbow Road from the 3DS. Merry Mountain is an interesting looking track from Tour. The Christmas theme track has you descending the large mountain, which is always a fun theme for a course. It's also a really pretty nighttime track, and being the end of the year, Nintendo could release it right around Christmas. Talk about thematic timing. Calamari Desert is a classic Mario Kart track. The bland desert with nothing but a train that occasionally gets in the way of the track, though Mario Kart 7 kinda fixed this by adding gliding ramps to glide over the train, which kind of ruins the whole fun of, getting stopped by the train, but whatever. This is a very simple track, but it would be a solid contender for the final wave. Dino Dino Jungle is a super fun track. You start by going under the feet of a giant dinosaur named Noshi. Then you take a trip through a cave before the track diverges into 2 wooden roads that you take to see Noshi again. Let's go! This time higher to allow you to see Noshi's head. There's many fallen logs to trick off of and many turns to master. This is a really fun track. The 3DS Rainbow Road is probably the best Rainbow Road there is, and I can't see Nintendo not bringing it to Mario Kart 8. You get to drive on planet rings, dodge chain chomps on the moon, and even glide through space, all while accompanied by music that graces the ears. This track will definitely be in the DLC, even if it's not where I predict it will be. Fan favorites to end the DLC in the Spiny Cup will likely be Mega Woohoo from the 3DS, DK Summit from the Wii, Waluigi Pinball from the DS, and Rainbow Road from the Wii. Mega Woohoo is one long track that takes you around the island of Wii Fit. You go through tunnels, across fields, and it all culminates at the end where there is one super long gliding section down where you can see the sunset off in the distance. It's an amazing track and it really deserves to come back. DK Summit is a classic Mario Kart Wii track that has sadly never returned in any future entry except for Tour, but who cares about Tour? The music would benefit so much from a nice remaster, and the course itself is one of the best in the series. Very similarly to Merry Mountain, you go to the top of a mountain and you make your way to the bottom, going over bumps and doing tricks along the way until you get to the half-pipe section at the end, and then you go back to the top and you do it all again. This track is so much fun, and I would be shocked if it didn't make the cut for the DLC. Waluigi Pinball is a lot of people's favorite track from the series, and who can blame them? Being shrunken down and putting it into a pinball machine is like, bingo! Such a unique concept. There's tight turns at the beginning where you have to dodge pinballs coming from every angle, and then the iconic section near the end where you go through bumpers and back to the finish line. This track would look so good in Mario Kart 8, very similar to Electrodrome. To finish off the DLC, we have Wii Rainbow Road. It could realistically be any Rainbow Road, I guess, but I chose the Wii one. It is the most difficult and most unique in terms of design. The steep drop at the beginning and the giant holes in the ground and the wavy part with the star bits, it's all excellent. This would be the perfect track to end off the DLC after 2 years of classic tracks. Those are all my predictions for the DLC. I tried to include a wide range of tracks, but most of the older retro tracks aren't likely to come back. They've either been remade to death, or there isn't enough volume to warrant remaking them. I feel like these tracks have had enough of a chance to come back. I'm mostly doing this to see how close I get, but if you liked hearing my silly little opinions, well then that is great for you. I am recording this at literally 5 a.m. and my throat is super dry. Are there any tracks you think I missed? Or would you place one of the tracks in a different spot? Comment down below. Also, like and subscribe, that's a thing you should definitely do, it helps me out a lot. Sincerely, a Mario Kart enthusiast.